Good day, LOMT and Circle. Our group will discuss about noise pollution. Well, I will give you some ideas about noise pollution. It refers to the sounds in the environment that are caused by humans and threatens the health or welfare of humans or animal inhabitants. So I am Archer B. Lopez and I will discuss to you the definition of sounds and noise. Sound. It is a form of energy that is transmitted by pressure vibrations which the human ear can detect. So, for example, when we are playing a musical instrument like guitar, the vibrating cord sets air particles into vibration and generate pressure waves in the air. So, the person nearby may hear the sounds of the guitar, and when the pressure waves are perceived by ears. So, yan. Next. Yan. Apart from musical instruments, sound can be produced by many other sources. Like for example, man's vocal cords, running engine, vibrating loudspeaker diaphragm, and operating machine tool. The next one is the definition of noise. It is defined as any sound independent of loudness which can produce any undesirable effect on psychological or physiological activities and may even interfere with the group or individual social ends. So, social ends include communication, rest, sleep, and recreation. So, there are various reasons why noise is an environmental pollutant or a detractor of the quality of life. Number one is that, unlike air and water pollution, noise does not remain in the environment for a long time. So, about the time that an individual will take actions or complain about environmental noise, that noise may no longer exist. So, that means, it can be controlled by humans when humans take an actions to that environmental noise. The next one is that large populations have accepted that additional environmental noise is the price of progress. Unfortunately, increased environmental noise is associated with technical advances, hence most of the individuals are contented with the things that technology delivers. Ayan. Pinapaniwalaan kasi natin na ang noise ay isang sign na nagkakaroon ng progression yung environment natin. Kasi, since advanced na tayo sa technology, like, for example, dati hindi naman tayo gumagamit ng mga MP3, ng mga amplifier, yung mga bagay na yon, nagpapakita siya na nagiging advanced na tayo, nagpa-progress na yung environment, ay yung technology natin. So, kino-consider nila na ang noise ay isa lang, isa siyang progression or isa siyang sign na umuunlad yung isang community or isang bansa. The third one is, the effect of noise on an individual appears so gradually. Either physiological or psychological effect is difficult to associate the cause with the effect. So, for example kasi, sa environment natin, habang nag-aaral tayo ay nagtatrabaho, nakaka-epekto yung noise na nasa environment natin para makapag-isip tayo ng mga bagay-bagay. Nakaka-epekto siya sa psychological. So, sa physiological naman, since sobrang ingay na, nagkakaroon ng epekto sa tenga natin at hindi na tayo nakakarinig. So, yung effects ng noise is on an individual appears so gradually. Next is that experiencing noise is subjective. The noise considered by one listener may be considered desirable to others. So, ibig sabihin, itong noise na to, pwede siyang maging sound sa ibang tao at pwede siyang maging noise sa ibang tao. Like, yung mga kantang rock and roll. Yung mga kantang yun, minsan, merong kasi mga ibang tao na gusto yung mga ganung kanta na may ingay. Para sa kanila, isa yung music, isa yung sounds. Pero sa ibang tao, isa na tong ingay na nakakasira ng social ends, o yun sinasabi nga natin, mga communication, yung pagpapahinga natin, rest, sleeps, or recreation. So, subjective siya. Depende siya sa tao kung paano niya i-consider yung noise or i-differentiate niya yung noise from sound. So, that's all.
Good day. My part is to discuss about the properties of sound waves. So let's start. Properties of sound waves. The vibration of solid objects or the separation of fluids as they pass over the solid object will result to sound waves in the following condition. So the first property of the sound wave is the sinusoidal. The rise and fall of pressure will follow a cyclic or wave pattern over a period of time. So, the curved line that is being represented in the screen is what we call the sinusoidal line or the sine wave. So the next property is the period, the time between successive peaks or between the successive through the oscillation. So, by the way, the peaks are the highest amplitude value, while the truth is the lowest amplitude value. So this is the peaks, and these are the truths. So period, it is the time it takes for a waveform to complete one cycle. One cycle is equal to one period. So this is the successive peak and successive truth through consider a one cycle. So one cycle, and one cycle. So period being a time, it is measured by seconds, minutes, and hours, etc. So the next property is the frequency, the inverse of period, the number of times the peak arrives in one sound of oscillation. It describes the number of waves that pass a peak space in a given amount of time. To make it simple and easy to understand, frequency is the number of waves that pass a point in each second. So, the bigger the waves, the lower the frequency, the smaller the wave, the higher the frequency. Amplitude, height of the peak or depth of through measured from the zero pressure line. So, as simple as this, the distance between the zero pressure line and the peak is what we call the amplitude. Next, and the last property, the wavelength. Distance between adjacent crest and cruise of pressure. So the distance between this peak and this peak is what we call the wavelength. So this is the end of my report. I'm Charmaine Baga. Thank you.
My topic is about sources of noise. First, noise in the community. The main sources of noise pollution in the community are transport sources, such as of aircraft taking off and landing, road traffic and railways, fixed industrial and commercial installations, construction activities, and increasingly from leisure activities. Noise from neighbors, samples, stereo systems, late night comings and goings, children, dog barks. Now causes more reported complaints than any other source. Next, road traffic. Road traffic noise is the most widespread noise source in developed countries. In order to reduce exposure to it, noise emission limits have been defined for all new vehicle types. The limits have been progressively lowered over the years, so that the noise emitted by new vehicles at the beginning of the 21st century was some 8 to 10 dB lower than 25 years before. Next, railways. Although railways are generally seen as the safest, most economical, and most environmental friendly of all conventional transport systems, Many countries are now appraising the cost of new railways in terms of its impact to pollution. Next, aircraft. The concern about aircraft noise grew rapidly over World War II, and in the middle of 1960s, it had reached such a level that aviation authority and manufacturers of aircraft realized that noise from the early jet engines needed to be controlled and reduced in order to create a more acceptable environment. Next, industry. Most manufacturing and industrial plants create noise. In many cases, this may be confined to the plant interior structure, while in others, will affect the communities where they are located. Although the problem in the community was formerly restricted mainly to heavy manufacturing industrial equipment, this is not necessarily the case today, and small manufacturing or service businesses which create noise may be located close to residential areas. Next, construction. Construction activities are noisy and have the potential to cause disturbance in the surrounding communities. Some sources will generate continuous steady levels, such as fans, extractors, or compressors. Some will be intermittent, such as sawing or drilling, while others are impulsive, such as fighting. Next, social noise. Social noise. Neighbors make noise. In fact, noise from social habits of our neighbors is generating more complaints than any other single source of noise. Sources include domestic equipment, stereo and TV, animals and children activities, do-it-yourself activities, and lawn mowing, plus the household verbal noise from arguments or chatting. Next, military sources. Noise from military sources is generally limited to noise from military aircraft and from practice firing ranges. Low-flying aircraft cause considerable disturbance en route from air bases to exercise areas, which are usually remote and often recreational areas. The noise is likely to startle people as the aircraft flies at high speed and at low altitude. Last, low-frequency sources. A small percentage of the pollution appears to be highly sensitive to certain types of low-frequency noise which is sensed rather than heard. In some instances, complaints cannot be related to any identifiable source, but on occasions, they can be traced to specific sources, which may be distant from the complainant. Once the source is positively identified, it is sometimes possible to reduce the offending noise quite simply. Examples of sources which can be produced this type of noise would include furnaces, burners, and fans, which might, under certain circumstances, set up low-frequency resonances within buildings at low levels.
My report is all about the effects of noise pollution. So first, I wanted to say that we are not aware of the effects of noise pollution because we don't give much attention to it and we think it is normal. But in reality, they give us harm, danger, most especially in our health. So first, hearing loss. Hearing loss means deafness, partial or complete loss of hearing. Because of too much loud noise or sounds that we hear, our sense of hearing becomes weaker and to the point of totally losing it. So this hearing loss is a serious condition. This hearing loss is no cure. Hearing aids do not restore noise damage hearing so that they can be limited help to some people. So, example, using earphones or headset every day and setting in on its maximum level.
So, yun yung isa sa pinaka pwedeng maging effects kung bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng hearing loss. So, usually kasi tayo, pag nag-headset or earphones, gusto natin sa pinakamalakas or nakatodo yung sounds. So, masama pala yun. Second, tinnitus means sounds that is irritating, ringing, or roaring in the head. Perception of sounds within the human ear in the absence of corresponding external sounds, the sensation subjective to those who experience it. So, when people exposed to a very loud noise or sounds, people with partial hearing loss may experience discomfort and pain, and they also suffer from tinnitus. So, this tinnitus can affect our concentration and our memory. Imagine this with this noise ringing in your head. So, this tinnitus can affect our concentration and memory. Next, health disease. In a test of humans, people subjected to moderately loud noise during different state of sleep exhibited constriction of the outer blood vessels. In readiness for dangerous and harmful situations, our bodies make voluntary and subconscious responses to sudden or loud sounds. Of course, most noise in our modern society does not signify such danger. However, our bodies still react as if these sounds were always threat or warning. So, in effect, the body shift gears, blood pressure rises, heart rate and breathing speed up, muscles tense, hormones are released into the bloodstream, and perspiration occurs. These changes occurs even during sleeping. So, pag tayo natutulog or nakarinig tayo ng noise habang tulog tayo, so, minsan nagugulat tayo, may masamang epekto pala yun sa atin na akala natin normal lang. Pero, blood pressure rises, heart rate, and breathing. So, iyon nga. So, health disease, stress, deep disturbance. Disrupt our sleep, prevent us from falling asleep, and can wake up in the middle of the night. So, example, being pounded by the siren of firefighters, police or ambulance in your city all night. So, sa noise na yon, magigising tayo. So, this noise result in your inability to concentrate on your work or on school, reduce your efficiency and performance in another day. So, that's all.
Good day everyone. My report is about types of sounds. The first type of sounds is steady state or continuous. Steady state or continuous is an interrupted sound level that varies less than 5 decibels during the period of observation. Steady state or continuous is a sound whose level remains constant during the measurement. For example, is refrigerator and the fan noise. Second type is the intermittent sound. Intermittent sounds is the stopping and starting at intervals. It is the mix of quiet and noisy periods. Example of this is the sewing machine. Why? Because the machines used and operated by the workers stops and starts at intervals and produces sound and noisy and quiet periods. The third type is the impulse or impact sound. Impulse or impact sound is a noise with a duration of less than 1 second that is characterized by a change of sound pressure of 40 decibels or more. Impulse or impact sound is a short burst of loud music that lasts for less than 1 second. Examples of this is sirens, horns, whistles, and fireworks. Next, probable ways to control noise. One is the first approach has been to reduce noise from a source. To reduce noise from a source, a person should wear earplugs or earmuffs so the noise that he hears will be reduced. Second is making a change in design and operation of machines. Change in design, you can control noise by using soundproof materials, soundproof cabins, so the noise will be lessened. And also for the operation of machines noise can be reduced by fixing the vibration level of the machine. Third, vegetation buffer zones must be created in different parts of the city. Vegetation buffer zones are undeveloped area or neutral area with existing plants or new plants. It decreases the noise because it absorbs and reduces noise because they block direct travel of sound waves from a given source. Fifth, education. People can be educated through TV, commercial, radio, and other ads. While in the family, elders can teach children how to reduce noise and be aware of what noise can bring to people. They can teach the children how to reduce noise pollution like low voice talking and low volumes of radio and TV. Noise pollution control. So here are the ways of how you can control noise pollution. First is prescribing maximum noise levels for nightclubs and for district relegating trucks. Second, setting up maximum noise standards for various types of motor vehicles, machineries, or plants. Third, use of mufflers or silencers in cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Fourth, maintenance of good roads. Fifth, discipline on the part of man. Sixth, systematic education information campaign. And seven, periodic inspection of vehicles and factories. Noise abatement. Noise abatement means the reduction. In today's mechanized world, it is virtually impossible for an active person to avoid exposure to potentially harmful sound levels. For this reason, hearing specialists now recommend that we get into the habit of wearing protectors not only to guard against hearing loss but also to reduce the annoying effects of noise.